So we are back once again with another comic book review, and today we are going to be looking at the oversized 150th issue of Venom. So as this issue opens up, it does a very good job of catching up people that might not have been following Venom for quite a while, maybe even since he first showed up in the 90s. And also, it's a good refresher course for even newer people, kind of introducing you to the character of Eddie Brock, everything he had, and exactly who this character is. And they do the paneling in a very cool stylized way to show the symbiote is taking everything over, which I really did enjoy and just adds a little bit more flair to it. And we see that suddenly Eddie Brock is woken up and he has been having a nightmare. But before he can really do anything, the actual symbiote convinces him to go out. And upon just swinging around the city, he happens to run into a bunch of criminals trying to do some, well, crimes is what criminals really do, and him and the symbiote decide to interfere and stop them. Them trying to battle back against Venom just isn't really working, and it turns out that they just want to steal this technology. Although Venom isn't really going to allow them to do that, so he just kind of pummels them into the ground some more. And it turns out that these dudes were trying to steal tomatoes, because not everything is as it seems right now, and Venom is very conflicted within his own mind. When Eddie is finally able to talk to the symbiote, we see the conflict that is happening. The symbiote thinks that he needs to be a hero in a certain light, not the type of hero that he wants to be, stopping crimes. The symbiote figured, hey, they're thieves, even if their cause might be good and might be courageous, that's still a crime, so let's stop them. It is this fundamental conflict that is able to bring Eddie to the place where he first got the symbiote. This is of course in the church. As two of these local neighborhood kids are pretty much getting up on Eddie, being like, hey, it's not safe here, man. Yeah, he ends up scaring them off when they end up noticing that it's not exactly going to be a good idea to go up against this guy. He then gets to sit down and kind of just talk to a man in this church, and the priest is really just willing to listen to him and what he's talking about his struggles, about this suit, how the world has changed, how there's aliens in space now, the Fantastic Four, how he's fought them, everything he's been through more or less, and it's a very, very good moment, giving more of a human side to Eddie. Once Eddie leaves, he's just kind of walking through the neighborhood as he is ambushed by the Scorpion. Eddie is quick to put on the symbiote and the two end up getting into a battle. And this is a very important thing considering the Scorpion has previously worn the suit. He was a previous Venom, and he keeps telling them that he's insane for wanting this thing back on him, and he knows the damage it can do to him. The suit then is quickly able to pretty much destroy Scorpion, and it's really no match for him as Eddie starts blanking out. As he wakes up from a blackout, he realizes that he's done something he's going to regret. He is now back in the church, and him and the symbiote have killed the priest. Overall, it was a pretty great comic. The only thing I could really complain about is the art, as I wish it would have been something a little more hyper-realistic to kind of service a darker story here, something that's not so cartoonish. Other than that, I thought the story was great. I thought Venom running into Scorpion was great, someone that formerly wore the suit and knows the damage it can cause. It really was a good comic that I thoroughly enjoyed. There are a few backup stories which I'm not really going to talk about in this, but if you're interested in them, they are there. Overall, this comic as a whole with the backup stories gets an 8 out of 10. Hey guys, Armin here, just reminding you that this video was made possible thanks to patrons. If you guys are interested in supporting us and making sure we keep the lights on, check out our Patreon where you can join other fans in supporting the CBC, delivering content you guys have come to love and expect. And if you can't do that, give us a like and a subscribe. That goes a long way too.